Top 4 in scoring, top 4 in playoff scoring.
He took
7
Michael
trips to the
Jordan's
finals.
blueprint, and he still couldn't be as good as him.
There is nothing more impactful than Kobe Bryant.
We're talking about Batman and Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Kobe was never a Superman. Kobe's not even Batman.
Yeah.
Kobe is Robin.
Boo this guy! What's up, guys? My name's Jay Skapanak. I am sick and tired of the diminishing of Kobe Bryant's legacy, so I am here once and for all to shut these 10 Kobe haters up. My first claim is that Kobe Bryant is on the NBA's Mount Rushmore.
First of all, I just want to make sure you know Mount Rushmore got 4 faces on it, right?
I do know that,
Let me
yes.
rattle off the 4 for you, big dog.
Okay, go for it.
We got Bron, of course, Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson. That leaves Kobe looking up at said mountain, now doesn't it?
Why do you have Kobe Bryant beneath those players?
Well, for one, if you're talking about Magic Johnson, you're talking about 9 first-team All-NBAs in 12 years. Then we got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had the greatest career of any basketball player ever from the second he can look at one. We got Michael Jordan, Kobe's idol, enough said. And then we got LeBron James, who was drafted when I was learning multiplication tables. He is getting ready to play for your Lakers right now. That's an unbeatable Mount Rushmore, and all due respect to Kobe, he's looking right up at that one.
Let me tell you why you're dead wrong and why Kobe Bryant is arguably above every player you just mentioned, other than Michael Jordan himself. Kobe Bryant exists as the most total package in NBA history, outside of arguably Michael Jordan. He is the greatest scorer, arguably the greatest, top three all-time scorer, undeniably. He is an elite two-way player, and guys, look, ultimately, I'm not here to talk about who you are underneath. Look, as Bruce Wayne told Rachel Dawes, it's not who you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you. Kobe Bryant is one of the most, I'm sorry, let me check that, is the most accomplished player in the postseason when it matters most, outside of only Michael Jordan. He went to 7 finals, won 5, and when you look at the requisite amount of supporting cast that he had, and we'll get into the Shaq claims later, when you look at the requisite amount of supporting cast that he had, coupled with the opposition that he faced, no one, arguably even outside of Jordan, accomplished as much. Therefore, I'm just here to say what he did. Kobe Bryant, top 3 scorer, all-around great player, and went to 7 finals, won 5 of them.
Okay, so when you said all-around player, y'all notice how he conveniently left out passing, right? Just conveniently forgot that you have to give the ball to the other team, something Kobe Bryant wasn't a fan of, except in 2006 Game 7 against the Suns, where he decided that's all he wanted to do. Mr. Mamba mentality himself decided, you know what? I don't feel like playing offensive basketball today. I'll let the other 4 of y'all do it. Now, if we're talking about the 7 trips to the finals, I don't like how, as a basketball community, we give players credit for the times they didn't make the finals. So all of a sudden, it's a bad thing that LeBron went to the finals 10 of his 23 years, as opposed to Kobe Bryant, who went for 7 out of his 20.
Firstly, Kobe Bryant was not a starter in the NBA till he was age 20.
That's a positive?
He ruptured. Hold on. Is
that a positive?
Hold on. Kobe Bryant was, because he was drafted, he was traded from Charlotte to the Lakers. Therefore, he did not get into the starting lineup. He did not get into the starting lineup until his age 20 season because they had Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, 2 all-star caliber guards. He then ruptured his Achilles at his end of his 34 season, right? So he didn't get the postseason run that year. He had a season-ending injury the year after. He had another season-ending injury the year after that. Really, when you look at it, Kobe Bryant had 13 times that he could get in to the playoffs as a starter and go at it. He went to 7 finals in the 13 years and won 5 of them. LeBron is entering healthy year 23, and he's only won 4, and he had a better supporting cast than Kobe Bryant, and he faced weaker competition than Kobe Bryant did to win less.
He didn't even have a better version of Shaq than Kobe. You talk about supporting cast. And on top of that, you're eliminating years from Kobe Bryant's career because of injury, and he wasn't good enough to beat out Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones. These are not positives, my man. These are knocks against Kobe Bryant's career because he wasn't good enough to crack the starting lineup coming out of high school, unlike LeBron James. And then at the end of his career, he ended up getting injured. Again, unlike LeBron James.
Because Kobe is not load managing like LeBron James. Kobe Bryant, when he ruptured his Achilles tendon, played in 46 minutes per night in the last 8 games of the season leading in to the rupture in his age 17 season,
And look where it got
dragging
him.
a team into the postseason. Kobe Bryant, that Mamba mentality, that competitiveness that LeBron James doesn't have, never had, that forced Kobe Bryant to prematurely end his career because he was just that damn competitive.
Kobe Bryant may be better than certain players, but when I look at Mount Rushmore, I'm going to look more about players that change the game. So I'm going to give you 4. Obviously, you're going to have LeBron James. LeBron James arguably responsible for positionless basketball. Let's also talk Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson created run and gun offense. Let's talk about Steph Curry. Steph Curry made the game today a 3-point shooting game. And then I'm going to give the last spot to Shaquille O'Neal. Why I say that? Shaquille O'Neal, arguably to me, the most dominant big man. During his era, teams had to build themselves in order that wanted to compete to beat Shaq. You had to have 3 legit centers just to have enough people to give enough fouls to handle Shaquille O'Neal. Kobe Bryant is more so a clone of Michael Jordan in the sense that he gets a lot of extra hype from Mamba mentality. Really, that mentality was Michael Jordan. He looked up to him throughout his whole childhood. That was his hero. That was the reason why he entered the draft early, because he thought there was a rumor Michael Jordan was going to retire, so he wanted to play for him. Kobe Bryant, certainly a great player, but he did not truly change the game of how it was played of basketball.
Now, if you want to look at how people change the game, fine. Again, it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. I'm looking at impact. Kobe Bryant led an NBA decade in scoring, points per game, and in total points scored. There's only 3 human beings in NBA history that have done that. Will Chamberlain in the 1960s, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the 1970s, and Kobe Bryant in the 2000s. That's it. Nobody else. Not ever. Not LeBron James. Not Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant. And in that span of time, from 2000 through 2010, an 11-year span from the finals in 2000 to 2010, Kobe Bryant went to 7 NBA finals and won 5 of them, while making 9 All-NBA first-team defensive selections during that span of time. There simply isn't more people. There's no more than one accomplished than Kobe Bryant in NBA history. You're talking about changing the game. Let's talk about impact on the game. You mentioned the Mamba mentality. You poo-poo it. You roll your eyes at it, but it is transcendent. It not only still transcends basketball even after Kobe left. It's gone on to other sports in other leagues. Let me tell you a quick little story here. When the LA Chargers freshly relocated back to LA, Kobe Bryant came in to talk to the team. After he left, he mentioned the book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. They had more than 50 requests from players to get that book. Max Crosby, like stud edge rusher for the Raiders, has Kobe's face tattooed on his chest. Jaden Daniels, stud quarterback for Washington. Kobe is his favorite player. He was born in 2000. He was an infant. Kobe Bryant transcends, okay? So you're talking about impact. There is nothing more impactful than Kobe Bryant, at least in the last
But everything you say, all that motivation that Kobe is giving them, it comes from Michael Jordan itself. You mentioned the finals. Let's talk about 2004. They solely lost that finals because of Kobe Bryant. He's the reason, because he was not willing to handle Shaquille O'Neal. He broke up a dynasty in the making. They could have won another 2, 3 titles. His own selfishness in that aspect. It was Shaq's team. He had to understand that.
I fully acknowledge, even as a huge Kobe fan and defender, that he is not without his warts or his blemishes. His career certainly had them. However, factoring in those blemishes with his successes still outweighs any other player that ever existed outside of Michael Jordan.
That's fair enough, but again, we're talking Mount Rushmore. To me, Mount Rushmore is about guys that changed the way basketball is played. The 4 I said are the ones that did that. Kobe
Michael
Bryant,
Jordan didn't change the way basketball was played. He just did it better than everybody else.
That's insane.
He just did it better than everybody else.
The 1980s was all about fast-paced offense. In the 1980s, when Michael Jordan in the 90s basketball slowed down for a reason, because Michael Jordan was the best.
Jordan simply revolutionized the way that it was played. He did it better than everybody else. And Kobe Bryant, fine, you got me. Jordan was Kobe's idol. Kobe did emulate him in some ways. And yet, when he gets that close to Jordan, and Jordan is the greatest of all time, then I guess that means that Kobe Bryant's better than everybody else other than that guy, which is Michael Jordan, which is why he's on my Mount Rushmore.
LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal. LeBron, best all-around player of all time.
I disagree with that.
Michael Jordan, most accomplished winner. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar literally has the most successful resume because
Best resume. He's
Best-
on my Mount Rushmore.
yeah, best
You
resume.
get no
be-
pushback
be-
on Jordan or Kareem.
And then Shaq, literally, he's the most dominant player. So I don't.
Shaq is not literally the most dominant player.
How is
That's
he's more
subjective.
dominant than Kobe?
Will Chamberlain's more dominant than Shaquille O'Neal.
That's arguable.
Well, it's arguable that Shaq is more dominant than Kobe.
I'm just saying. There's no way you can put Kobe Bryant
Kobe-
on the
Kobe-
Mount.
listen.
There's no way you can put him on the Mount Rushmore because
listen.
you're basing it off of just him working hard. Just because you work hard
That's
at
not
something,
true. I'm talking
just
about
because
tangible accomplishments.
just because you work hard at something doesn't mean
Let's talk
you're
about
the
Shaquille
absolute
O'Neal.
best.
How is Shaquille O'Neal above Kobe Bryant?
The three-peat that they went on, he was the bus driver.
Kobe Bryant from 1999 through 2004 scored more total points than Shaquille O'Neal. He averaged about a point less in the postseason in their 4 finals runs together. That is while Kobe was leading the NBA in fourth quarter scoring, clutch scoring. He was their lead facilitator, ball handler. He was first team All-NBA defense in those seasons. So if you're saying that Shaq was the leader, what? Because he averaged 1 more point per game? Do you know that Magic Johnson didn't lead the Lakers in scoring in any one of his single 5 finals runs?
Okay, but if you want to bring up Magic Johnson, he was a rookie and won the Lakers a championship.
I'm trying to.
So I'm just saying, if you're trying to base that as an argument, that's
In a year
that's
where
kinda
in a
messing
year
you
where
up.
Kareem
So
Abdul-Jabbar
I'm
was
just saying
league
that's kind of
MVP.
messing you up. Like, I don't know why you would bring up Magic Johnson when
Because
literally
Kobe Bryant's an exponentially better scorer than Magic Johnson. He's an exponentially better defender than Magic Johnson. He won the same number of championships than Magic Johnson with far
okay, but
less help than
Showtime
Magic
Lakers,
Johnson.
Showtime
and
Lakers,
played way
Showtime
harder
Lakers though,
competition than Magic
Showtime
Johnson.
Lakers though.
Hold on, I want to address the Shaquille O'Neal versus Magic Johnson thing real quick. Let me just drop some knowledge on these haters and you right now.
Yeah, okay.
Do
Go
you,
ahead.
do
Yeah,
you
I'll let
know?
speak. I'll
Do
let
you
speak.
know that Kobe Bryant faced and beat more 50-win opponents in the Western Conference in just 2008 through 2010 than Magic Johnson did in his entire career? Oh, and who wasn't on the team in 2008 through 2010? Shaquille O'Neal. So I don't want to hear any more of the Shaquille
Okay, no.
O'Neal qualifiers
Okay, but you
coming
still
from the side.
you still have Pau Gasol. You still have Lamar
And
Odom.
what's Pau Gasol? Like the 80th or 90th best player all time?
You don't think he's a Hall of Famer?
He's not top 75.
You don't think he's a Hall of Famer?
He is a Hall of Famer.
So then what are we talking about?
But he's not top. He's
You're
certainly
basic-
not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and
No,
Magic
no.
Johnson
You're
played
acting,
with
you're
each
acting,
other.
You're acting like Kobe
Kareem-
didn't have a team
Kareem and
in
Magic
09
played
and
with
010.
each other
He literally
and had
had
James
he
Worthy,
literally
a
had
top
Pau,
50
he literally
all-time
had
player.
Pau Gasol. He literally had Lamar Odom. He had Trevor Ariza. He had Derek Fisher. All these guys literally helped him win a game.
Lamar Odom.
Literally.
Lamar Odom made no All-Star appearances in his entire career. No All-NBA
what?
selections.
You know,
Derek
bailed-
Fisher
you know,
made no
bailed-
All-Star
you know,
appearances.
you know
No
who bailed
All-NBA
out
appearances.
Kobe? You know who bailed out Kobe in Game 7 of
Tell
the
me about that.
2010
Tell me
NBA
about that.
Finals?
Yeah, tell me about
Ron
it.
Artest.
Ron Artest, you made
Because
one
Kobe-
All-Star
because
appearance like
Kobe-
7
because-
years earlier.
because Kobe's
I'm
Mamba
talking
mentality-
about
you know what
Magic
Kobe's-
Johnson
you know
with
what
Kareem
Kobe's Mamba
Abdul-Jabbar
mentality-
and
No.
James Worthy.
You know what Kobe's Mamba mentality says? I'm going
get into this shit.
to shoot 7 for 24, but since that's going to be seen as the best thing ever because I didn't give
What
up.
are you talking about?
It doesn't
2010?
matter. Yeah,
Game 7, 2010?
Listen.
Where he still led both teams in scoring, led both teams in fourth quarter
He
scoring,
didn't.
had 16
He
rebounds
underperformed.
because Kobe Bryant is a winner.
He underperformed. What I'm saying to you is Kobe Bryant, just because he's a hard worker doesn't mean he's the overall best player. Literally.
Agreed.
Like,
I'm
why
talking
are you
about-
saying?
I'm
Literally,
talking
he
about
took
top 4 in scoring, top 4 in playoff scoring.
he took
7
Michael
trips to the
Jordan's
finals.
blueprint, and he still couldn't be
So
as
he
good
took
as
the
him.
He took the
He
greatest
couldn't even
player
be-
ever's blueprint and got damn close to him. And
You're
therefore
calling
is better than everybody
You're
else.
calling Kobe the greatest. Better
I'm
than
saying
Michael
he's
Jordan,
no,
apparently.
I'm saying he's second to Michael Jordan.
You're saying he's second to Michael
Second
Jordan?
to Michael.
Okay.
You're saying Kobe is top 4 in points? You know what he also is top 4 in? Misses.
LeBron's
he's number
first.
1 misses
LeBron's
all the time.
number. No, he's not.
Well,
Kobe's second.
in-
LeBron's
per,
one.
per game.
LeBron's your
LeBron's
goat.
played
He's number
more.
one in
He's
misses.
played more games.
He's number 1 in turnovers.
He's played more games.
So Kobe played a lot more games than all the other guys
You're
you're
right,
referencing.
and he had to play 2-3 more seasons than Jordan to get less points.
No,
points
Kobe
per
has
game.
more-
Who has more points
Kobe
per game?
has more
Jordan is at
points than Michael
30.8.
Jordan.
Jordan is at 30.8. Is number 1 all time.
Yeah.
Tied with
Yeah, tell me
who?
about it.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Tell me about it. Let me tell
Where's
you
Kobe
this.
Bryant on the points per game list?
Okay, bro, can we milk in some context to this real quick? All of NBA history has been played at roughly a 110 point per game pacing.
Yeah.
In the 1960s, it was about 115. In the 70s and 80s, it was like 110. In the 80s, when Jordan came in 84, it was still being played at 110 per game. Up until 95, it was still at 105 points per game. Now it's back up to 115. It was 114 last year. In the 16-year span from when Kobe Bryant was drafted in 96 to when he ruptured his Achilles in 2012, the NBA was played at a 96 point per game pacing. That is the unequivocal dead ball era of NBA basketball. It was played at 15 to 20 points per game, less on average than any other era in NBA history, including 3/4 of Michael Jordan's career.
What's your Mount Rushmore?
My Mount Rushmore takes in accomplishments, how much they won, how much they impacted with the supporting cast, and the opposition they faced. So I've got Jordan, Kobe, Tim Duncan on my Mount Rushmores, and Kareem's resume is impeachable. I can't, even though he played weak-ass competition and play with a crazy supporting cast, his resume is unimpeachable. It's better than LeBron's. He's been to 10 finals. He won 6. He has 6 league MVPs. He's top 3 in three standard box metrics. That's rebounds, blocks, and points. My next claim is, other than Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant is the most successful playoff performer in NBA history.
You saying Kobe Bryant is the best playoff performer?
It's not close.
So how could you say it's not close when we seen what MJ do? We seen what he did.
I said MJ is the best.
Okay, so how about we take it to LeBron, right?
Sure.
Because let's be honest. LeBron, unique. Everything unique. What he did from Cleveland, 07, took him to the NBA Finals. Okay, we seen what
against 2 teams that didn't win more than half of their games.
But he still did what he did, right? He still
and then got swept in the finals by the Spurs.
He still derailed Ben Wallace. He still derailed.
No, Ben Wallace was not on that team in 2007. He was on Chicago that year.
Okay, you got me. But still took out Detroit, right? Still
yes, who won 2 more games in Cleveland and had the same net differential that year. They were identical teams. Then he gets into the finals with the top 3 net rated defensive team. They were in 1 possession games against the Spurs and got swept.
But let's take it to the Heat, right? Let's take it to the Heat.
Oh, let's take it to the Heat.
Yeah, 3-peat. Even though he didn't
He did not 3-peat.
He did 3-peat, but he made 3 appearances, right?
He went to 4 straight and he won 2.
Okay. He did his thing there. Then he went to Cleveland. It was a bunch of scrubs. Even though he had Kyrie,
whoa. The year before the team up in Cleveland, when he left Miami to go to join an ascending all-star guard in Kyrie Irving. Do you remember what was happening in the NBA at that same time? Do you remember something called Riggin for Wiggins? Because every NBA team was trying to get Andrew Wiggins. Guess who got Andrew Wiggins? Guess who got him? Cleveland. They won the draft lottery. They got Andrew Wiggins, and because he was so coveted, they managed to flip him for Kevin Love. Kevin Love, that year, before he went to Cleveland, hold on. Kevin Love was top 3 league-wide in box plus minus, value over replacement, and player efficiency rating. He was 2nd or 3rd in all those metrics, behind only LeBron James and that league's MVP, that year's league MVP, Kevin Durant. That was Kevin Love. He was 2nd team All-NBA, and if there was not positionality that year in All-NBA, he would have been 1st team All-NBA. That was the 3rd option in Cleveland.
You're gonna let me talk?
Hold on, you said those were scrubs in Cleveland?
They all wasn't scrubs. Okay, you're right. You got Kevin Love, you got Kyrie Irving, but who do they need? They needed LBJ. They needed LBJ. Who did Kobe Bryant need? He needed a whole roster plus the bench. Derek Fisher. Who else?
Never an all-star.
Trevor Ariza.
Never an all-star.
Else? Paul Gasol.
One-time all-star. Do you know who Kobe Bryant's 3rd leading scorer was on the Shaq teams in the 2nd and 3rd title? Derek Fisher, who played in.
He was clutch.
He never made one All-Star team, never won All-NBA designation his entire career.
Not everybody's a star, bro. Not everybody's a star.
But LeBron had stars at every stop he went after he left Cleveland.
He did though. He really did.
He did.
He had 2 co-stars, bro.
He did.
He had
Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Then he jumped to Kyrie Irving.
Okay, back to Miami Heat.
Then he went to Anthony
back to Miami Heat. Back to Miami Heat, bro. I'm from Dade County. Chris Bosh was not really that guy in Miami. It was really him and Dwayne Wade.
Let me hold on. Chris Bosh really wasn't that guy.
No, he wasn't.
But he went to 11 All-Star appearances in 13 seasons. And the year before he teamed up in Miami, he was 20th in VORP, 18th in BPM, 4th in PER, and wait, hold on. In a lower scoring era, in a lower paced era, Chris Bosh averaged 24 and 11 the year before the team up. He really wasn't that guy. Are you kidding me?
No, not to a certain degree. No, he was not that guy. And let me finish this off because you was talking the whole time. I hear what you're saying, but Kobe. Okay, you're saying besides Michael Jordan, Kobe was the 2nd best playoff performance. I have to scrap that because LBJ going from team to team to team, taking these players with him. Kobe, he stuck with a team. I give him that. But Kobe, he gave up at certain times. He was a prima donna. He said, "I'll do it by myself." How could you do it by yourself, dude? You got to say about Andrew. You got to say about Paul Gasol. You couldn't do it with Dwight. You couldn't do it with Julius. You couldn't even do it with D'Lo. I mean, come on.
I hear people yelling Steve Nash. match. You played 40 games with Kobe.
Debate me about it. You couldn't do it with nobody else. You couldn't do it yourself.
He did do it himself way more than LeBron James ever did.
How? How?
Way more. How? Because he took Pau Gasol, went to 3 straight finals and won back-to-back.
Did we forget the COVID chip? Did we forget
Chris Bosh,
the COVID chip? Did we forget 2020?
I certainly didn't forget about it. He had Anthony Davis, who was a top 5 player.
That's it.
Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, Alex Caruso.
How can you talk about playoff success without talking about Bill Russell from the Boston Celtics? He won 9 straight NBA finals.
Before we get into it, let me just, how can we talk about it? Well, because there were anywhere between only 9 to 14 teams in the NBA at the time that Bill Russell was playing. And because, hold on, and one last point, I'll turn it back over to you. And because Bill Russell played with anywhere between 6 to 8 other Hall of Famers throughout all of his title runs. That's why I'm not talking. No disrespect to Bill Russell. He's in my top 10 all time. He's close to like 6 or 7, but he's not Mount Rushmore, and he didn't have better playoff success than Kobe Bryant.
How can you talk about how there are less teams, but then you're also going to talk about how he has so many Hall of Famers on his team? Like Tommy Heinsohn would not be a Hall of Famer in today's game.
I mean, well, that's your opinion.
Bill, I mean, look at the guy. Look at the guy.
Is that what we're going based off? Look at the guy?
No.
Look at Nikola Jokic. Look at that guy.
He's absolutely incredible. I watched.
Yeah, but look at him.
It's not I'm not talking about the body type. I'm talking about the way he played. Tommy Heinsohn, you look, he's like shooting like a freaking high school kid.
So that's the competition that Bill Russell was playing against that you think so highly of.
Bill Russell, success is, look, the amount of, look, let's say you out-debate all these guys. This is the only people you could debate against. No offense, these aren't the best basketball historians of all time sitting in this room.
I am.
Ouch, guys.
Kevin's pretty good. Hold up.
Boo! Boo this guy!
I like this guy on the right.
Hold up. Bill Russell could only play against who he could play against. And he won 9 finals in a row, 11 all time. If you're getting to accolades with your Mount Rushmore comments before, how could you not include the guy who has the most NBA championships of all time?
I think talking about accomplishments, it's a nuanced conversation when you're talking about NBA playoffs, right? Like, who did you play? What opponents did you face? What kind of supporting cast did you have? Kobe Bryant played more 50-win opponents than any player in NBA history. He beat more 50-win opponents than anyone in NBA playoff history. Let me just walk you through this. Looking at all the other top tier, like top 10 all-time players that are dynastic, let's look at them, all right? The percentage of 50-win opponents that they played in NBA history. Your guy, Bill Russell, 56%. Larry Bird, 55%. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 43%. Magic Johnson and LeBron James are sitting at 50% of their opponents faced were 50-win opponents, right? Now let's get into the upper echelon guys. Steph Curry, 63%. Tim Duncan, 65%. Michael Jordan, 67%. 85% of Kobe Bryant's playoff opponents that he faced throughout his entire career won a minimum of 50 games. That is by far the hardest gauntlet of competition that any player has ever faced. There are 5 players that have faced at least 4 50-win teams in one postseason. That would be the 95 Rockets, the 2024 Dallas Mavericks, and then the 2001 Los Angeles Lakers, the 2008 Los Angeles Lakers, the 2010 Los Angeles Lakers. 3 Kobe Bryant teams, and 2 of those 3 had Pau Gasol, not Shaquille O'Neal, and he still won 5 though. He still went to 7 finals and won 5 of them.
I'm getting you're throwing so many numbers out there right now.
I know,
and
it's hard to argue against,
the only
isn't
2
it?
numbers that matter are 9 NBA championships in a row and 11 all time. Who is the second most NBA championships of all time? Is it Robert Horry, one of Kobe's old teammates?
No, probably one of the other 7
That's
Hall of
probably
Famers
true.
on Boston's team.
Another stat, I tell you. Guess how many times Wilt Chamberlain beat Bill Russell in the playoffs for the NBA Finals? 0. That guy scored 100 points, one of the most dominant players of all time. The only number that matters when you're talking about NBA playoff success is the 11 championships that Bill Russell has. I see a Wheaties box with Bill Russell holding his 11 rings in his hand. The rings would barely go above his fingers because there's not nearly as many as Bill Russell has.
Fair. Give
see you later,
Kobe
my friend.
7 Hall of Famers and play 8 teams.
So you're a big Kobe fan, right?
Well, I'm more of a historian and a supporter of greatness.
Why are you a Kobe fan?
His tangible on-court product,
Okay.
coupled with his accomplishments,
Okay.
make him an undeniable top 3
What does
all-time
Kobe
player.
stand for? The word Kobe. You're a Kobe fan, right? What does the word Kobe mean?
Well, he was named by his parents because they were eating in a Kobe steakhouse when his mother Pamela was pregnant with him. So
tender meat,
that's
right? Tender meat, right? Kobe's tender meat, right? So let's talk about, you like numbers, right? What is the average PER?
I mean, they support things, yeah.
Wait, Mr. Scully, what is the average PER in the NBA?
Just scap.
Scap, Mr. Scap, like scap. Okay, what is the average PER?
That's scalp. Scalp.
You get it. What is the average PER?
What do you mean by average?
Like, what's the average PER for
Let's
players
talk
in the NBA?
about. Well, we could
The
talk
average PER.
We could talk about all time.
Okay, player efficiency
PERs,
rating.
yeah.
It's 15 in the league. That's the average.
Yeah.
Kobe's
Now-
at 22.7.
Okay.
Kobe is a great player.
Yeah.
But he's not elite.
Okay.
LeBron and MJ, their PER is 27
Okay.
for both.
Okay.
So Kobe is a construction worker.
Okay.
Kobe's a mechanic.
I feel
Kobe
you.
is
Can
a
I- hold on, bro.
Kobe's an average human being. He doesn't have any generational talent. He just worked really, really hard. LeBron has generational talent. Michael, generational talent. And on top of that, they have hard work behind that put them in the league of their own. So there's LeBron, MJ. Everybody come last.
All right, let's
It's
talk.
Kobe,
Let's talk
Michael, Bryant.
context because you want to talk player efficiency rating PER.
Correct.
When you look at the top 30 PERs in league history, there are 3 players that existed within 1996 to 2012. Now, I know you know about 96 to 2012 because I previously had to set that context in a conversation earlier. The dead ball era in NBA history. There are 3 players in the top 30 in all-time PER, Shaq, Tim Duncan, and Yao Ming. Because they're bigs that play close to the basket. Kobe Bryant is higher rated in PER than any other player that lived in that era other than those 3 players. Higher even than other great bigs like Kevin Garnett and Dirk Nowitzki because they played further out from the basket. It was a remarkably inefficient time that Kobe Bryant existed in. Kobe Bryant's true shooting percentage, 55% for his career. The true shooting percentage league-wide on average for Kobe Bryant during his career was around 51%. So he was an above-average player, actually. The true shooting percentage last year was 58%. There are 12 players that play now that are in the top 30 in PER because of how much easier and more efficient the time is now. Nikola Jokic is destroying LeBron James in advanced metrics. He's a higher PER player, BPM player, higher win share percentage. He's higher than even Michael Jordan. Because this era, is Nikola Jokic the GOAT?
No, he's not the. Wait.
Because it's easier now than it ever has.
So we're talking about Kobe Bryant, the guy that's inefficient. Right? The guy is turnover ratio compared to his assists is bad. Kobe get like 5 assists and 5 turnovers a game. And Kobe is not a good leader. Kobe talk bad to players. He told Smush Parker that you don't have enough accomplishment to talk to me. Who talked to their players like that?
He actually made Smush
Wait, I'll let
change in
you
a broom
talk. Who
closet.
talked to their players like that?
I'm helping you.
You're not helping
I'm helping you.
No,
He
you're not
made
helping
Smush change in a broom closet.
Kobe was talking bad to his players. You can't do that. LeBron will never do that. I won't speak for Michael because Michael actually punched Steve Kerr in the face. So we're not going to get into that. See, LeBron James is Kobe's daddy. LeBron James is Michael Jordan's daddy. LeBron James is the league. Everybody in the league, LeBron is the daddy. Mr. Scully.
There are so many things incorrect in that last statement, including and my name isn't even the most incorrect thing that he said. My next claim is that no player in the league today will eclipse Kobe Bryant's 81-point performance.
Okay, so you've been talking about how much easier it is to score in today's
Way
game
easier.
with the advanced metrics and talking
Way
about the faster pace and the more possessions, all this stuff.
Yeah.
All these numbers you're throwing out here.
Right.
So how are you then going to go and say that nobody, Luka Doncic, who scored, I think, what, 73?
73 in
thank you.
2024.
73. Donovan Mitchell scored in the
71,
70s. Devin Booker has scored in the
71.
Thank you for giving me the numbers. But the fact of the matter is, if these guys are putting up these kind of numbers, and it's only by, the way you're talking, only going to continue to get easier to score with the trend, the way the offense is trending, the way the
I don't know if it'll
NBA
continue. It can't get much easier than it is now.
Well, you don't know that, though. We can't predict the future. So the NBA, as it potentially continues to get easier like that, why do you feel that nobody can score 81 points if it's already been close to being done, and you've already talked about how easy the offense is nowadays?
It's not that close. The only player ever
73 is not close to
Hold
81?
on. The only player, I'm just trying to answer your question. The only player that scored more than Kobe's 81 ever, there's just one instance ever.
Yeah.
It was 1962 in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Will Chamberlain scored 100.
Yes.
Or did he? Where's the footage footage on that. And then
Flight reacts, the camera wasn't on.
So Kobe 81. Next would be Chamberlain did it at 78 points.
Yep.
That was in 1961. So 62, 61, and then David Thompson also did 73 and 78. So that was it for other than Kobe's 81. Like that was it for like decades.
Okay.
Now, so
like you said, dead ball era though, so it factors in.
But see, Kobe Bryant, as I kind of teased earlier, is arguably the greatest scorer of all time. If you adjust for pacing, the year that he scored 81 is the greatest scoring season in NBA history. If you adjust it for pace,
Well, you can adjust everything.
Right.
If you adjust anything in the world, then you can fit your
okay.
argument.
All right, fair.
I'm just saying.
So fair. So his 35.8 is still, he's one of only.
I'm not telling you he's not a great
hold on.
scorer.
He's still only one of 4 guys that ever did it. And again, he did it in a time when it was 96 points per game. He scored the 6th most points ever in an NBA season. Again, he did it in 96 point per game. The other seasons that Chamberlain did it, it was 118, 117 points per game. So 20 points per game faster. Even Jordan's great 80s, those were like 109, 110 points per game. So my point is, Kobe Bryant, undeniably a top 3 all-time player in scoring. He has the most
in scoring or all-time?
Top 3 all-time scorer.
Okay.
Second all-time in 60-point games. Top 3 in 50 and 40 points. Do you know that he has more 50-point games than Durant and LeBron combined still?
I also know LeBron has more playoff buzzer beaters than Kobe, but that's for a different discussion.
So what I'm
that's
saying
fine.
is Kobe Bryant is a
Better
top
playoff
3,
performer, though.
arguably the best scorer of all time.
Okay.
So that you need that. You need to have an elite all-time top 3 scorer and
Understood.
able to do it. Then he had the necessity to do it. That team was garbage. Hold on, that team was garbage. In the 81-point game, Smush Parker was the second leading scorer, 13 points. Chris Mim, the only other player in double digits, 12 points. No other guy was out of the double digits. They had only 5 bench points in that game. They were down 14 at halftime.
This is a lot of extra information. Can I
excellence.
respond?
Hold on, and I'll turn it. Excellence meets necessity.
You have incredible knowledge with your ability to rattle off these numbers, rattle off these stats. I give you the utmost credit in the world. I'll shake your hand. I'm going to look into the camera right now. He has contradicted himself multiple times, this most recent time, saying again, the NBA's offense is the easiest it's ever been, yet nobody's going to be able to score 81 points. I find that laughable. Listen, this could age very poorly. It could come back to bite me in the butt. Right now, I will say, somebody will score 82 points this season. Coming into this year, it'll be because the offense is the easiest it's been. There's no defense. Everybody could score. Pace, fast, all this stuff. I'm wearing a Yankee hat. I'm wearing baseball stuff. I don't care. Somebody will score 82 points this year. Take your pick of who it is. Jokic, look at him, big fat boy, whatever. Jokic will do it. Luka will do it. He's skinny now. Who knows what he's going to be able to do? I'm telling you right now, it's happening.
Luka had 73, but now he's playing with LeBron James as a top 8.
Well, LeBron's out for 3 to 4
player.
weeks with sciatica, so he could do it in the first 3 to 4 weeks. You never know.
But they're playing a more defensive style. Again, it's
it's more defensive style, but it was offensive before.
The Lakers under JJ Redick are trying to play more of a defensive methodology.
There's plenty of other players in the NBA, but listen, we'll see.
Are there
what
plenty
happens.
of other top 3 all-time players in NBA history as scoring the basketball in the NBA right now? I don't think there are. That have the
they're still playing. They're not
team.
retired and rest in peace. They're still playing right now. So let's see what happens.
I'll bet you any amount it's not 82 this year.
Somebody will score 82, 83. Every generation gets more skillful. Every generation gets more athletic. And I don't believe the defense is that bad. I just believe like one of these players will beat that. Not only that, players like Luka, players like Jokic will do it, making their teammates better. Something Kobe Bryant never did at any level. Never made anybody better. Never elevated his teammates. He did say to Smush, as he said, that you don't have the accolades to talk to me. What kind of leadership is that? Listen, you don't have the accolades to talk to me, but I'm going to let you talk now.
Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol in 7 years prior to going to LA and teaming up with Kobe Bryant made no All-Stars, no All-NBAs, won no playoff games. He gets to LA and he's All-NBA, third team, an All-Star. He's winning playoff games. How is Kobe not elevating Pau Gasol? Pau Gasol goes from not an All-Star at all to a Hall of Famer because he played with Kobe Bryant for 6 years. That's first. That's first to attack your assertion that Kobe Bryant didn't make players better. Secondly, in 2006 when Kobe Bryant scored the 81, when he, had half of the 50-point games in the entire NBA that season, when he averaged 40 for an entire month, Kobe Bryant that year, when he was on the court, his on-off per 100 versus off the 100 possessions per 100 when he was off the floor. They had the #1 ranked offense in the NBA that year per 100 possessions with Kobe Bryant on the court, better than the Dallas Mavericks, who won like 67 games that year. With Kobe Bryant off of the floor per 100 possessions in that 2006
You got a lot of stats,
season.
man.
I do, bro.
You got a lot of
when
stats.
he was off the court.
What does this have to do with somebody scoring 83?
You're saying that he
What's
doesn't
your claim, bro?
Your claim was that he
All right,
doesn't
so
make
you're
people
over.
better.
He doesn't. Kobe Bryant does
I'm
not.
refuting
your
your
stats
point
don't matter.
specifically.
Watch the game.
They do.
He'll have 3
They
people
do.
on him, and he won't kick it to the wing for a 3.
He won
doesn't
5
make
NBA
teammates.
championships.
3 of them were with Shaq. When Dirk
How many did Shaq win without
what
Kobe?
Dirk and D-Wade did was way more impressive.
How was Shaq without
Say
Kobe
one thing.
Bryant?
One thing. Let me say one
How
thing.
was Shaq without Kobe Bryant?
D-Wade
Let's
did it
talk
with
about
a
that.
wash Shaq.
Let's talk about
Kobe
that.
did it with a prime Shaq. There's a difference.
Let's talk about it. And Shaquille O'Neal.
There's a difference.
And we're gonna get into Shaquille O'Neal later. I'll save it. I'll save it for later.
You seem to be lost for words for your first time ever.
Well, all right, I'll give it to you now. I'll give it to you now, and we can talk about it later. Shaquille O'Neal with Kobe Bryant, when Kobe Bryant became a starter at the age of 20, Shaquille O'Neal was 67-33 in the playoffs and won 3 championships. In the 13 years Shaquille O'Neal played without Kobe Bryant, he was 62-54 and won 1 title. Who made who?
Somebody will score 83, and they will make their teammates better while doing it. Something Kobe Bryant never did.
And who will? Who will? Luka? How many championships Luka have?
Number 30 over at Golden State is still playing, and he's still looking good. That jump shot is still wet. Okay, number one.
Did you just say Steph Curry?
Yeah, I did say Steph Curry. Number 1, Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson. Hell,
what are
if
their
Karl
career
Anthony
highs
Towns
right
has
now?
a good game, it gets hot from 3.
What are their
He can
career
hit it.
highs right now?
New York.
What are their career highs right now? What's Jalen Brunson's career high right now?
It's got to be in the 40s, 45.
40 to 82 is a big jump. 61 to 82 is a big jump. 61
Yes.
to 82, that's a pretty big jump, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a pretty big
And-
jump. And somebody who's more unselfish and spreads the ball because
he has a better
win.
Listen,
to win.
Let me restate the claim for you
Yeah.
guys. Let me restate the claim for you guys just so you understand. Kobe Bryant.
8 assists.
Kobe Bryant is one of the 3 greatest scorers that has ever existed, and he was on one of the
Carmelo
worst.
Anthony.
Hold on. And he was on one of the worst teams that was ever put together. So it was when excellence met necessity that he had to do that. His team was down 14 points at halftime in that game against Toronto.
Hell,
he
Devin
had
Booker,
to do it.
Devin Booker has a 70-plus point game.
71.
Anybody can do it in today's game. They talked about the defense is worse than ever.
It's worse than ever, but there's not.
That was your point.
It's worse than ever, but there's not one of the 3 greatest scorers that ever existed in NBA history.
It doesn't have to be.
With the necessity
in today's
to be
game, it
to
doesn't
have to do that.
be. Steph Curry can still do it.
Steph Curry
Luka
will never
Doncic-
score 80
Luka
points.
Doncic can do it.
Kevin Durant and Steph Curry combined do not have as many 50-point games in their career as Kobe Bryant. Combined!
If Malachi Flynn and Sadiq Bey can score over 50 points, I don't think in today's game you need to be a top 3 scorer of all time to surpass 81 points. I think Luka Doncic could do it. They're probably
He didn't do it when he didn't have LeBron, though.
Who?
Now, Luka didn't do it when he didn't have LeBron. Now he has LeBron, a ball usage hog as well.
All right, I'll be done in 3 seconds. We know LeBron's gonna be gone pretty soon. Kobe didn't do it.
But who else are they gonna get?
Kobe didn't do it when he had Shaq. So maybe if Luka's ever a one-man team like Kobe was
Correct.
that year, maybe he'll be able to do it.
But will he ever be? Because the Lakers are going to continue to refortify those players around Luka.
That's a hypothetical that we can't talk about. All we can say right now is guys like Malachi Flynn and Sadiq Bey were not scoring over 50 points the year Kobe Bryant scored 81 points. So we're in a current NBA where guys are going off
Way
some
easier.
nights.
Yep.
It's way
Way
easier to
easier
score
today. Yep.
So you don't need to be a top 3 scorer of all time to surpass 81 points. If Devin Booker could do it when he wasn't even at his best.
Devin Booker was absolutely shot-chucking, going for it all out, and he still fell pretty shy. 82 to 71 is still pretty far away.
No, you're right. That is, but it's not that
That's a
many.
lot.
But it's not that many to say that it's not possible to surpass 81. I think someone who's currently in the NBA right now will eventually score 81, and that player will probably not be a better all-time player than Kobe Bryant.
He might not even have a name.
My next claim is that Shaq didn't carry Kobe, he needed Kobe. Oh, there's a fight. There's a fight for the chair.
Would you say that the best player on pretty much every championship team in the history time needed a second good player, right? So you could say they needed Jordan Farmar in the 2010. Like
I fundamentally
reject.
Someone, right? I fundamentally reject the premise that.
Well, let's just go the year 2000, right? How many They won 3 championships together.
3 championships. 2000,
so you probably know the
2001,
number down to the decimal. What did Kobe average in that 2000 finals? I think it was 15.6, and he shot 36% from the field.
Do you want some context on that or what?
The guy had context, dude.
Hold on. He rolled his ankle in the first quarter of one of those games and averaged 0. He had 0 points for that game that went into his statistical average. Okay, and then he was.
So he was still. And what did Shaq average? Tell me what Shaq averaged. Tell me what Shaq averaged.
Physically compromised. Hold on. Let's talk about Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, where they went to the NBA Finals. That they were down 13 in Game 7 at home. They wouldn't have even been in the finals if not for Game 7. Can you tell me what happened in Game 7 against the Portland Trailblazers?
Kobe went crazy.
Western Conference Finals.
Kobe went crazy.
Kobe Bryant, can you tell me what happened?
No, I can't. Are you going to give me the stats? Kobe had 18 points on 7 of 8 shooting and 2 for 3.
I can tell you that Kobe Bryant led the Lakers in points, assists, rebounds, and blocks in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals.
And then you're going to go and belittle
them to get them to the finals. Because yes, bro, you got me. Shaq was better than Rick Smits and was destroying Rick Smits in the finals.
Thank you.
You got me. But they wouldn't have been in the finals without Kobe being the best. So they would not have been in the NBA Finals.
Pretty much every championship team. Pretty much every championship team. So you just listed one game. Pretty much every team. Again, you could say they wouldn't be there if it wasn't. But now you're talking about points, rebounds, and blocks. And then you're going to discredit. So, okay, over the runs, who had more points, rebounds, and blocks over the 3 runs? Over the 3 years. Answer the question.
Shaq.
So then how are you using that?
Shaq averaged about a 1.5 more in their 4 finals runs.
So now it matters the specifics of it?
1.5.
Okay, so he averaged more. More is more.
But who was the closer? Who was the ball handler? Who was the
undefeated in hypothetical scenarios? And who had the better Mamba mentality? Who woke up earlier that day? That's what we talk about when we're talking about Kobe.
Who was the best player in the Showtime Lakers era?
Magic, or they had 2 of the best players of all time. So
right. So this is my premise.
The claim is who was better on the 80s?
No, this is my claim.
Can we stick to basics?
Yes.
Who had a higher VORP?
Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal were co-best players.
Okay, Shaq in a literal sense was better.
But he wasn't. That's what we're talking about.
But he was. So the first finals, you're talking
about the first finals. Let's talk all 3. Let's talk about 2001.
Well, I believe 2000 was one of them.
2001 and 2002. Okay, let's talk
about. So then they were they were great running mates. That's why you ever heard this expression like Shaq and Kobe? Well, first of all, which one comes first? But what? Like that's an They were 2 great players.
No one's denying. Talk about 2000, then I'll talk about 2001.
I already spoke about it. No one's denying the greatness of Kobe. He was a great running mate. He was probably the best second option other than Scottie Pippen in their runs.
No, he was a co-best player. He was far better than Scottie Pippen.
So now you're saying he's a co-best. What's the claim?
Shaq did not carry Kobe. Shaq needed Kobe.
Okay, so we needed him, but so they were who was better? Who was better?
I'd say Kobe Bryant was more valuable.
Then why isn't that your claim? Because clearly you don't believe that. You have some very strong beliefs. If you thought Kobe was better, you would say Kobe was better. But Shaq needed Kobe.
Well, I would say they're co-best players on that run, like Durant and Curry were in the Golden State runs. That's the dynamic that Shaq and Kobe had in my estimation. Other people try to paint Kobe Bryant in revisionism that he was like a Pippen to Shaq's Jordan. Not the case. It wasn't Batman Robin. It was Batman and Superman. Kobe and Shaq were Batman and Superman.
Let's not get into revisionist history with Kobe because the narrative has very much changed since he unfortunately passed away. But that day in January of 2020,
he's made lesser. Now, he's made lesser today.
That's factually incorrect because he used to come up in like the 9 to 12 range when you're talking about the greatest of all time, where he literally is. But ever since that very unfortunate day, people talk about him in a different light.
Everybody was talking about Kobe as a top 3 player when he was playing in the NBA. Peers and guys
of all time?
Yes. Kevin Durant has Kobe Bryant as the second greatest player ever.
Okay. Can we not do stats? Can we not do semantics?
Well, but what are you talking about? Your feeling?
No, not
your
my feeling.
eye test?
No, not my feeling.
How do we gauge that?
We got small. Let's work together, right? You say Shaq needed Kobe, right?
100%.
Everybody need a great teammate. Great.
Shaquille O'Neal
let me get my point.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Look, let me talk to the camera because he's not gonna listen to me. So what I'm saying, who won 3 Finals MVP?
Okay, but
Shaq.
who was the best player in the Western Conference Finals?
If you go look at those, look at those final stats, you will see Shaq's stat. If you go look at the final stat, you will see Shaq 35, 16, and 3 blocks. You will see 38, 16, and 5 blocks. You will see 37, 15, and 3 blocks. What I'm just saying, yes, but I have to do semantics too.
Say that?
Yeah, you're right, but I have to do semantics. It's a mind game. Play with me. Okay, pause. So what I'm saying, right? So what I'm saying, right? Yeah, Shaq needed Kobe. But Shaq was the most valuable player on that team, without a question.
Against the Eastern Conference teams.
It doesn't even matter.
It does matter.
So what about
the Western Conference was undeniably substantially better than the Eastern Conference during that span of time. So the stuff that came out of the East, yes, they had weak teams, weak players underneath. Shaq controlled those series. But look at the strength in the league. The Sacramento Kings, the San Antonio Spurs.
Yes, sir.
To get out of the Western Conference against way better teams. Kobe Bryant was the guy.
Okay, didn't you say earlier that Kobe closed the game?
Yes.
So what? Okay, hold on. Let me land.
He did more than that in the West.
No, that's fine. So what happened in the first, second, and third quarter?
Kobe in the West against the West.
No, you said Kobe closed out the game. What did Shaq do in the first, second, and third?
Well, they were scoring about the same.
What is?
They scored. There's a point per game difference.
Sir.
In the 4 finals runs through all the playoff games, about 90 games, Shaq scored
We're
about
talking
a point and a half
We're
more.
talking about Batman and Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Kobe was never a Superman.
No, I'd say Shaq was Superman, Kobe was Batman, if I had.
No, Kobe's not even Batman.
Yeah,
Kobe is Robin.
He's Batman.
No, he's not.
Can I touch on something that I talked about before? So when Kobe became a starter at the age of 20, besides Shaquille O'Neal, they played in 6 years. I'm gonna retouch on this. Shaq was 67 and 33.
Great.
Okay, and won 3 titles. In the other 13 years that Shaq was in the NBA, he was only 62 and 54, won 1 championship, and that was why. Hold on. Other than Kobe, in those 13 years, he played with 7 other top 75 players that included LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Steve Nash, Kevin Garnett. I'm just saying, who did Kobe Bryant have outside of Shaquille O'Neal for his 12 years after Shaq left? Pau Gasol, that's it? And he played with the only top 75 player Kobe Bryant played with outside of Shaquille O'Neal in 12 years was Steve Nash for 50 games, and Nash was 38 years old.
I don't even know why
and Kobe still won more.
I don't even know why you brought up Nash. They were completely washed at the time. When Kobe played with Shaq,
They were Kobe's players.
Shaq was Kobe's daddy. There was no issue.
What is with you and daddy? Do you have daddy issues?
It's okay.
You said before LeBron's everybody's daddy. Now Shaq's Kobe's daddy. Do you have daddy issues?
He just kidding. No, I don't have any daddy issues. I don't have daddy issues. Do you have daddy issues?
No, I'm not saying daddy all the time like you.
So obviously Kobe didn't get along with his father. Kobe didn't get along with his father. So Shaq was the daddy. I'm sorry.
No team wins with one all-star. Shaq needed Kobe, Kobe needed Shaq. But in that time, and I'm talking their years from when they won their first title, in the entire, not just the West, the entire league,
first title,
teams around, besides the Lakers, they were building themselves to stop Shaq. And in that sense, they weren't building themselves to stop Kobe. Kobe was able to take advantage of that. Obviously, Kobe's a great player, but these teams were getting like 3 starting caliber centers. The Pacers needed Antonio Davis.
And it was easier for Kobe then,
Antonio Davis, Dale Davis. The Sixers, Dikembe Mutombo, Matt Geiger, whoever their other guy was.
Yeah.
The one time, again, Kobe lit it up with those in that strategy. The one game plan.
Because why? Because it was easier because they were focused on Shaq.
They were focused on Shaq. They weren't building
themselves.
Finish
your point. Yeah, finish your point.
The Detroit Pistons, let's go to 04. Chauncey Billups has stated this. We knew we were never going to stop Shaq. Our game plan was simple. For the first time, we're gonna guard Shaq one-on-one. We're going to let Ben Wallace do that, and then Kobe's going to get frustrated because we're going to keep going to Shaq, and Kobe in that series choked because he wasn't getting his touches, and therefore forcing the game.
Let me get this. First of all, you're referencing the 2004 Detroit Pistons, who are, in fact, the #1 rated net defense in the last 37 years. So you're referencing one of the greatest defensive teams of all time.
But I'm talking about their game plan. I'm talking about the approach.
All right. Let's talk about 2001, which I believe is one of the greatest teams of all time. We're going to talk about that team later on. In 46 games that Kobe played without Shaquille O'Neal, 46 games he played an entire game without Shaq from 2000 to 2004. In those games, Kobe Bryant averaged 30 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, all better than when he was playing with Shaquille O'Neal. But let's look at 2001, one of the greatest teams of all time. With Shaq on the floor per 100 possessions, which there are about 100 possessions played in today's NBA. So that's how much harder. I'm normalizing the pace from today's NBA back to 2001. Kobe Bryant averaged 33 points per game on 55% true shooting percentage with Shaq on the floor per 100 possessions. Now that tracks every second that Kobe played with Shaq during that year. With Shaq off the floor during that year. For every second averaged out per 100 possession rate. Kobe Bryant averaged 44 points per game that year, jumped from 33 to 44 without Shaq, and that was wild. His true shooting percentage only dipped 1 percentage point. 54, still higher than league average. That is what Kobe was doing without Shaq. So to say that he had his way because they were dialed in on Shaq is just outright and unequivocally false.
But it's not, and I'm not saying Kobe's a bad player. I'm just saying this, in certain situations, the Nets, when they were trying to go back to the finals, they were trying to get Alonzo Mourning because they were gearing up for Shaq. No team is going to trade for Ron Artest to shut down Kobe at that time. They both needed each other. That's a fact. All I'm saying is
they were co-best players.
In that time period, they were gearing up for Shaq, not Kobe. Kobe was having his will against the Sixers. He was getting guarded by Eric Snow. They weren't going to get Kobe stoppers. They were going to get Shaq stoppers, and that's where I'm walking off.
My next claim is, because we just talked about it, let's keep it going. The 2001 Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history.
2001, they was nice. Whether it be Shaq, whether it be Kobe, Tyronn Lue.
You just listed Tyronn Lue as one of their good players.
He's all right. I mean, I'm making you look kind of bad because without Shaq, without Kobe, without other players, I mean, what do the Lakers really have? Rick Fox was nice, but was he always wet? Nah, not really. And who did they go against? 2001 76ers, Allen Iverson. They stole game 1, and Kobe was in the locker room. That little mother.
Are you saying that the Sixers weren't good that year?
No, I'm not saying they wasn't good.
Are you diminishing the Sixers?
What I'm saying is.
Can I tell you something about the Sixers that year, please?
Yeah.
Because you clearly don't know.
But I do. But
go on then. Tell me about their accolades that year.
I mean,
tell me what they did. Tell me what they did.
Okay. You had the 6th man that year.
6th man of the year that year,
you
correct?
Had Snow.
Aaron McKee.
You had the
no, it was go. Keep going.
You had Snow. You had the head coach of the year.
Head coach of the year as well. Larry Brown, coach of the year that year.
You had the Dikembe Mutombo.
Who was what that year?
Defensive
player of the year that year.
I see what you're trying to do.
And Allen Iverson, who was the league MVP
that
year.
He was.
And they won 56 games, which was tied for the Lakers as the second highest win total that season. And you're talking about the Sixers that year were some scrub team. Are you kidding me?
I didn't say they was a scrub team. I'm saying they was good, but if we're being honest, was they only just good in the East? Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. What did they do in the West? Can we go over what the Lakers did in the West that year?
Yeah, the Lakers did a lot, but wasn't that the same? Was that the same season that old boy was throwing some money on the Sacramento Kings game? No,
that was the following. That was 2002.
That was 2002. Either or. I mean,
come on, get your numbers right.
Hold on. That Lakers team. I mean, yeah, they were playing pretty good, but who did they really play against? They played a good team, but it was
because I can tell you. I can tell you who they played. Since you can't tell us, let me tell us who they played.
Okay.
They had the second hardest run in NBA history based on SRS. That's simple
you keep
rating
talking about
system.
Numbers. Who is SRS? What are these numbers?
That is simple rating system. It tracks not only how many games his opponents won, but how they won those games against the quality of opponents that they faced. So it was the second most difficult run ever in league history based on SRS, behind only the 95 Houston Rockets. However, that 2001 Lakers team against that difficult field of all 50-plus win opponents, the Lakers produced the second highest margin of victory per game throughout that postseason. So wait a second. The team that faced the second hardest run ever beat that field by the second highest number ever?
Didn't Kobe say, we are lucky that Allen Iverson is not at least, 6-something?
Is that your argument right now?
Yeah, that is my
argument.
argument.
If Allen Iverson was 6'6", that would have been a harder series?
I mean, Kobe said it.
Interesting.
Kobe said it. So that's proving my point.
I'm sorry, KJ, I cannot speculate on what would happen if Allen Iverson grew 6 inches.
Kobe said it.
Kobe said it.
Kobe said we're lucky. Hey, guys, not taller.
Can I give you two teams that I would put up there that rival that?
100%.
Right, so, I mean, I think the obvious one is the 72-10 Chicago Bulls. I think the fact they have the all-time win record, winning that championship that year, best player or second best player of all time, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen again. I would argue, arguably the most underrated player of all time. There's that one. Another underrated team I'm going to give you, though, and, I don't have I'll be honest with you, I don't have the advanced metrics to back it up, but from watching that team, the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, the depth that team held, the ball movement, the way the system they played in with Greg Popovich, the aging stars they had, the ability for them to turn back the clock, those three in Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan, and guys like Patty Mills, Boris Diaw playing, well above, I think, with their talent level, but within that system, watching that team, the dominance they went on, I would put those two teams as rivals to that 01 Lakers team, despite how great that team was.
Yeah, and the reason, look, you brought up a great full team in San Antonio. And there are no doubt better complete 1 through 10 teams, like a myriad of them throughout the history of NBA. But the reason why I think so highly of the 2001 Lakers, first of all, is because of the accomplishments that I just
and Kobe Bryant
is the fact that they did play such an extremely difficult path to get the championship, they obliterated the field. They went 15-1 against that field and produced the second highest margin of differential against the second hardest run ever. And they ended the year that year in the regular season on an 8-0 run. So they really were 23-1 in their last 24 games that year. The only loss was to that 76ers team in overtime. That was the sole blemish. But in addition to the tangible accomplishments that I just produced, it's the only time in NBA history, in my opinion, that the two best players in the world in their prime were on the same team doing their thing, which was Shaq and Kobe. That's why they were so unstoppable. In that postseason, average nightly scoring in the playoffs that year, 93 points per game. So think about that, 93 points per game. Now listen to what Shaq and Kobe did in that postseason for 16 games. 30 and 15 for Shaq per game. 29,
I know what the averages were.
7 and 6 for Kobe on average.
Yep.
Those two guys were laying that down against that defensive field that they were playing, and they did that again in that era, 93 points per game. Like, we've never seen two dominant, and they just, the front court and the back court, like, they complemented each other perfectly. That's why I just don't think any team is beating them 4 times out of 7.
And I want to correct myself about the Chicago Bulls. It was the win record at the time. Obviously, the Warriors ended up completing that. They would have been the greatest team of all time, in my opinion, if they didn't choke to the greatest player of all time, LeBron James. But that's besides the point. Michael, that Chicago Bulls team, again, I mentioned that Spurs team because to me, I think they're one of the forgotten championship teams, and they deserve to be mentioned. I'll finish off with this. The Chicago Bulls team, to me, when you have the best record coupled with that championship, I just think that combination of the two of them, despite everything that you mentioned, because you're not wrong in what you're saying, that Chicago Bulls team to complete that three-peat, the ability again to win 72 games and win that title coupled all together, to me, that just can't be rivaled. But listen, good point.
Who would Shaq guard if they played the Golden State Warriors with KD, Steph Curry, and the death lineup?
Who would guard Shaq?
I'm asking you a question.
Well, their center technically was Draymond Green. There's an evolution of the game. Draymond Green played the majority of their minutes at big.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 6'6", 230 pounds,
If
bro.
you don't guard Draymond, he's going to initiate all the offense. Everything's going to go crazy. Steph Curry's going to be having gravity. You give it to KD, he's an instant bucket, a better scorer than Kobe Bryant.
Not even close. But who's going to guard? You asked me who's going to guard, who's Shaq going to guard. Who's going to guard Shaq? Draymond then will guard Shaq at the other end. Draymond Green, hold on.
You're good at stats. Wait, give me one thing. You're good at stats, right?
Yeah.
What's worth more, 3 or 2?
Who's going to shoot a higher percentage, a dunk or a three-point shot?
With Steph and KD, they're very efficient.
Three-point shooting is about
what, 35%?
2
of the greatest three-point shooters ever?
37%? 35, 37%? What's Shaq shooting at the basket with Draymond Green
Another thing.
80%?
You just talked
90%?
about how Kobe had a terrible supporting cast. Who's their third best player? You named Draymond Green.
There were some good defenders, though, on that team.
Can I say something? Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer. You said the third best player was Derek Fisher, and you said he's not good, which made Kobe Bryant better in your mind. You dissed your own supporting cast, and now you're saying they're the greatest team ever. Depth matters.
I'm saying from a defensive standpoint, you're asking who's going to guard. They had good perimeter defenders on that 2001 team.
You just dissed the supporting cast, and now you're saying they're the greatest team ever.
In terms of offensive firepower, sure. When you look at the 2001
So how are they the
run,
greatest team?
Because they had the two best players in the NBA.
How about
on one
depth
team.
of scoring?
When has that ever happened?
How about depth of scoring?
When has it ever happened that the two best players in their primes were on one team at one time?
KD, Kevin Durant.
They were,
so
they were better
Steph
than
Curry.
LeBron. So they were
Scottie
better.
Pippen,
They were
Michael
both
Jordan,
better.
and Michael Jordan would be the best player on the court. Clearly, even you admit that.
The other player, though, I'm saying the top two, Shaq and Kobe, were the two best players in the world at that time in their primes. Steph and KD were not the best two players. LeBron James was
because LeBron wasn't in his prime. Exactly.
Pippen
LeBron would have been the best player back then.
Pippen was not the second best player.
LeBron would have been the best player back then. So what are you talking about? You're not even comparing 2 on 2.
I'm saying in the context that we're talking about, there has never been a time in the league where the two best players
you
at
keep
that
saying the same thing
time
over and over again.
Are, right. So but you're not answering it though. But if I may, let me just finish your point that you started with. Draymond Green logged a substantial amount of minutes as the big on that team that you're referencing. Draymond Green's height and weight list 6'6", 230 pounds. That's
He
what
basically
that's what he's listed as.
He's one of the greatest. Can I finish my point? He's one of the greatest defenders to ever live, and he initiates offense.
He's
he's more of a point guard than a big.
He's 6'6", 230. He would be guarding Shaq, whose list weight and height was 7'1", 325. He's a half a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier.
The Lakers
and that's the answer they have for Shaquille O'Neal, and that's the team you bring to me. Is that Warriors team? Because what, you think that they're going to be able to run around and shoot more threes?
They
are.
That
2001
There's
team
the evolution of
the
game.
That 2001 team had good perimeter defenders, though.
Who?
Kobe Bryant and Rick Fox.
Rick Fox?
Rick Fox was a good perimeter defender.
You know that supporting cast wasn't good. You said it yourself in your own argument, and now you're
that
also
doesn't
saying
mean
they're
they
the
can't
greatest
defend
team.
the three-point shooters.
They
the
were
Golden
not.
State was going to throw at them.
72-10 Bulls, better. Those Warriors team, better. Celtics won 9 out of 11 back then. I would even say Bird, McHale, and Parrish as a trio is better than any trio the Lakers ever had, especially in that era.
Definitely not the 80s Showtime. Are you kidding me?
A better team than that 2001 Lakers team is the 2016 Cavs that came back down from 3-1 to beat the Warriors. So they won the first 2 series in a sweep. Marcus Smart.
Who'd they play?
Doesn't matter. They sweep. They beat the competition. They destroyed them. Then they
not as bad as the 2001 team did to their competition against better competition.
Okay. Then Marcus Smart hit a lucky shot. They would have sweeped the Celtics to make it to the next round. Okay. Then they come down against what was the greatest team of all time at the time, 73-9, the death lineup, and they come back and they win 3-1. And not only that, they won in a myriad of ways, which is one of your favorite words, okay?
I like that word.
They won in a low-scoring game in Game 7. They would win in a high-scoring games. I don't have all the advanced stats, but they could win in all these different types of ways. And the question that you've been asking everyone, who would guard Shaq? There's 2 people who would guard Shaq. One, Kevin Love. Look at what he did against Steph Curry. He could also
respond to this.
Look at what he did against Steph Curry. You remember that? Remember the play against Steph Curry? He could also do that against Shaq. And also the Cavs had Delly. There's nobody on the Lakers who could have guarded Delly, all right?
Shaq did that spin move, dunked on someone, put his crotch up in his face, and then pushed him over? That would be against Kevin Love every single time.
Do you remember what
hang on. The Warriors were 73-9 in the regular season. Do you know what their record was that year in the playoffs?
They lost 7 games.
No, they lost 8 games. They were 15-8. They were 15. Okay. So they were 73-9 in the regular season, but they were only 15-8 in the playoffs, and they were down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals and getting obliterated by the Oklahoma City Thunder until Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook threw up all over themselves in Game 6 and let them come back and win. That was a different Warriors team at that time. They were depreciated. Curry was hurt. We had the Draymond Green suspension. Other players on that team, bigs predominantly, got hurt on that Warriors team as well. So yes, they came back and they won a 7-game series with Kyrie Irving cooking as well as LeBron in games 5, 6, and 7. But they didn't beat anybody to get out of the East. So I do not put that Cavs team very highly myself. But interesting point. Kevin Love versus Shaq head-to-head. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with that. My next claim is that Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time.
Do we forget Magic Johnson exists?
No, I'm well aware of
the
Magic.
Man who popularized the Lakers. There is no Lakers the way we know the Lakers as they are today without Magic, who was the conductor, the catalyst, the nucleus, all the words you want to use that made Showtime basketball. We're talking 12 years, 9 trips to the finals, 9-time first team All-NBA, 5-time champion, the same amount as Kobe. And Kobe played damn near double the amount of years that Magic did.
Kobe played 13 healthy years. He had season-ending injuries his last 3 years.
You can take off all the years of Kobe's career in hypothetical land you want. The fact of the matter is he was on the Lakers roster. And he did not play those years. That's not a positive. He wasn't on the court. Your job is to be available.
Let me just interject here real quick.
Go for it.
Magic Johnson won every single one. You guys have routinely diminished Kobe Bryant because he played with Shaq. Magic Johnson won every single one of his 5 titles with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is better than Shaquille O'Neal. He is above Shaquille O'Neal on any listicle or periodical you want to find. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has the greatest basketball resume of all time, and Magic won every single one of his titles with Kareem. But not just that. He won, I believe, 3 of his 5 came with James Worthy, who is a top 50 player of all time. That was his 3rd option. Kobe Bryant's running around here with Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom and going to 3 straight finals, winning back-to-back against more 50-win teams in that 3-year span than Magic Johnson played in his entire career to get 5 NBA championships. So that amount of supporting cast against those weak opponents other than the guys that he got in the finals, and you're going to try to hold up the fact that he had 5 championships as some kind of a claim against Kobe? The fact that Kobe still got 5 somehow, as many as Magic, is a testament to Kobe.
All right, let's address 2 points here. Number 1, if only there was an award that takes out your individual contribution to your team. They got a name for it. MVP, right? Magic got 3 of them. Kobe got 1.
All right.
We can agree and disagree at the same time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a better player all time than Shaq, right?
Better than Magic.
Was the version of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for at least 4 out of the 5 of Magic's rings? Was that the version we're really talking about? Are we talking about the 6? Are we talking about the guy that
he was a
before
league
Magic
MVP
got
the
there?
first year, like the year that you guys want to talk about where Magic won Finals MVP? Kareem was the league MVP that year, and
that's
and
why I said
like
4 out of 5
points per game in the playoffs.
That's why I said 4. Just like you, I like to cherry pick.
Let's
a
go
little
MVP
bit.
though, because MVP is one of the most glaring claims that I hear against Kobe Bryant. Real quick. There are 6 players in NBA history that have at least 10 top 5 MVP finishes. 6 and only 6. All right, Kareem has the most with 15. LeBron has the second most with 14. Kobe has 11. Bill Russell had 11. Jordan had only 10. And Wilt had 10. Of the 6 names I just listed off, 5 of the 6 guys on that list have a minimum of 4 league MVPs. Kobe Bryant somehow only has 1 because it was a popularity contest and the media voting on it absolutely despised Kobe Bryant. So I'm not talking about popularity contests, media bestowed accolades. I'm talking about tangible on-court accomplishments.
What'd you say earlier? It's not what's under the mask. It's who you do. It's what you do. It's the Batman quote. That's what you said. We're not talking about the hypothetical land where he's top 5 and didn't win the MVP. We're talking about the guys who actually
MVPs are just
won it.
hypotheticals in general. The MVP.
No, those are voted on by the same people that vote for All NBA. So if you're gonna count the All NBA,
we don't have to talk about All NBA. But if you want to talk MVP and talk about it, and then we can apply the same standard to the All NBA teams. Kobe Bryant has the second most All NBA selections of all time. He has the second most defensive selections of all time. So I guess Kobe's a slam dunk top 3 player all time. Then, if we're talking about
5
media
is cool.
bestowed awards,
he's good at 5. We'll take him at 5.
Well. So
Well,
it is true. When you speak of the Showtime Lakers, you think about Magic more than often. I'm actually going to say Kareem is the most important Laker of all time. Reason being because, of course, he has the most accolades, 6 NBA championships, 6 MVPs, and, of course, other than what just happened a couple years ago with LeBron overpassing him in the all-time scoring list, the guy's resume is just impeccable. Like, literally, he is the Lakers. Now, I don't understand why you keep bringing up Kobe so much in terms of he's the greatest Laker because he worked so hard. Like, literally,
I never said that. You guys keep putting that.
No, but
that
this is what you're bringing up because you're like, oh, he's played against 50-win teams. He's done this. He's done that. And I'm like, okay, but just because.
Hold on. Let's talk about tangible on-court production then and accomplishments.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because he only has one MVP. He only has one MVP.
That's not a tangible on. We just covered that that's a media bestowed accolade. I'm talking about on-court accomplishments.
Okay.
First of all, and to address Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he did not win all of those accolades in LA. He had a career before that in Milwaukee.
But he still had
won
more.
MVPs.
He still had more.
He won MVPs in Milwaukee. He won one of his 5.
He still had
one
more
of his 6
accolades.
Hold on. So he didn't play his whole career.
As far as LA.
So he didn't play.
No. I'm just saying because you've been speaking the whole time.
I want to talk about Kobe's.
No, I'm just saying. As far as accolades, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, even though he didn't win
Let's
all
talk about
of those
accomplishments on the court, though.
But you just told it. You just
Kobe
brought
Bryant's
it back to
played
accolades.
more games,
you
more
just
minutes, and scored more
accolades.
points than anybody in Lakers history, more than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, but Kareem's more in points. He has more
He's
points
not,
all
though.
the time.
Not in a Lakers uniform.
Okay, but as an overall,
we're not talking about his overall product.
Okay,
we're talking about
overall,
the best Laker of all time.
I still would take Kareem because even though he didn't win all of his accolades with LA, he still has more accolades in LA than Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant he's the #1 leader in games played, minutes played, points scored, wins total as a Laker. He won 5 NBA championships, and he spent every single second of his NBA career, a 20-year career, in a Lakers jersey. At the time he retired, he spent more time in a Lakers jersey than he did on Earth. And then he carried on afterwards. The way he is beloved and the imagery that he still exists as today throughout Los Angeles, to me, it's not even close. I think it's a slam dunk. The easiest claim to defend of all of them is that Kobe is the greatest Laker of all time.
I disagree, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's literally the standard of what a Laker should be. Like, he honored and embodied the entire Laker franchise, and literally with Magic Johnson.
He's an all-time great. He's just not better than Kobe. He's just not a better Laker than Kobe.
We could agree to disagree, but honestly, I don't know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna approach this from a different perspective.
I think I know where you're going.
I'm gonna go with Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna say for this reason alone, in terms of his impact on the Lakers. Before he got there, the Lakers, what were they most known for? They were kind of a sort of a franchise that was the lovable loser. They were always losing to the Celtics year in, year out, despite having great players in Jerry, Wilt, Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich, and then they got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and early on they weren't winning there. When Magic Johnson got there, that is when the winning started. And more than anything, what are the Lakers known for as a franchise? Their royalty. It's about the pageantry. That's what Magic Johnson brought them. He created that winning identity, and he was the star amongst stars in Hollywood. It was a show because of him. That's what the Lakers love to be. They always want to be headlines. They always want to be in the news. Magic Johnson is the man that created that identity. Magic Johnson made the Laker brand.
I would say this. We just heard from someone who has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his list, who was on that same team. So I would reject the premise that Magic Johnson and Magic Johnson alone brought that. It was a cumulative response to having a top 3 to 5 all-time player in place. And
that certainly helped. I won't argue that.
Magic Johnson coming in, them again.
They needed each other. Again, nobody wins alone.
Them getting James Worthy, a top 50 player. Them having a plethora of other elite role players during that time, and
Absolutely.
an iconic coach as well in Pat Riley, a great
100%.
GM, which is where I thought you were going to go with, was Jerry West, was where I thought you were going as the best Laker. To me, the only guy that you could argue with above Kobe maybe would be West, even though I would reject that premise as well. Kobe Bryant carried, I mean, you could say Magic created the winning. I reject that. I think it was a total, I would say Jerry West, Pat Riley, like even the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss. I think those guys, it was a comprehensive kind of accomplishment by that whole team that did that. It was not simply Magic Johnson, whereas Kobe Bryant, it was just him. By himself, a loner. After Shaq left, that team would have fallen into total and utter obscurity. Kobe Bryant didn't take his talents to some other great player.
But he wanted to. He requested a trade.
Again, are we talking hypotheticals or what happened? Kobe
That's
Bryant
not hypothetical. He requested a trade.
Okay, where'd he go?
He wanted to go to Chicago.
Where did he go, though?
He didn't get traded.
Oh, but he stayed in L.A. He stemmed the tide with an absolutely abysmal supporting cast, sold the tickets, kept the Laker brand alive, and then after Pau Gasol left, they did it to him again. They brought garbage players around him. He blew his Achilles out. He still carried on the legacy, the mythos of the Lakers, and that legacy and mythos still exists to this day in Los Angeles. He is so cherished and beloved there still. To me, it's not even close. Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time. All right, guys, now it's up to you to decide who won this debate. Was it me or was it all of these Kobe haters?